Hey, everybody, welcome to the Simply Incredible podcast. I don't have cool music like every other show that the most popular man in YouTube, right over here, Hialeah Comics.
Right over
What's
there.
up?
Right over there.
Not over here.
This is.
What's going on, man?
It seems like we're gonna have the show. This is gonna be the show about nothing.
The show about nothing. Speaking of the show about nothing, Jerry Seinfeld is at the Duke, North Carolina basketball game.
Is he really?
Yes.
No way. Look at that. And I just brought it up, kind of. What's up, drifters?
What's up,
Thrifters.
Drifter? Yeah, and he has this Duke sweatshirt on. I'm thinking, so you probably bought that about 20 minutes before the game,
He's from Long Island, ain't he?
somewhere in New York. I don't know where.
Yeah,
But
he's from Long. He's my wife is from Long Island, so every time she throws it in my face, because there's so many famous. Eddie Murphy's from Long Island. Jerry Seinfeld's from Long Island, and I don't know. She has a list.
Kevin James, because I feel like he might be
Who?
Kevin James, the King of Queens.
He might be. There's a lot of people in Long Island, but she always throws that in my face. So, but I guess he's a Duke fan for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I reckon so. Maybe I don't know how I became a Duke fan, but
You're a big Duke fan, aren't you?
yeah, huge Duke fan. I wear Duke hats all the time.
You feel bad about Coach K? It's his last. He's retiring. He's what, 75?
I'm
75 years young. You put on you schedule a show for his last home game.
Yeah.
It's like, who does that as a huge Duke fan, dude?
Yeah, I mean that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do.
Wow.
I mean, I've got a card from a Duke player sitting right here from the Duke National Championship. Oh, wait a minute, that's the University of Virginia.
What?
That's Kyle Guy. That's an autographed card of Kyle Guy from the University of Virginia. Let's go, Hoos.
What was his name?
Kyle Guy.
Kyle Guy.
Yeah. And I've got a national championship trophy, right? I mean, a pennant. That's what it is, a pennant right there from my Hoos. I don't like Duke. I don't like North Carolina. I know you're a diehard Dookie.
No. Hey, you remember when pennants were a thing, dude? People, I used to have
When I was
pennants
a
in my
kid,
room.
yes, I had tons of them.
Me too. And I remember I had pennants. Dude, where did I? My mom would buy them like at Kmart or Zayres, and I would just see them. They were super cheap. And I remember I had Alabama. I had all these college teams. God, you don't see those anymore.
No.
They were a real thing.
Well, my brother, he had not my brother, but we used to go to Roanoke to a flea market. And this guy, he had pennants, but he also had sleeves you could put over the pennants so they stayed in good shape.
Wow.
So were they getting the witness protection?
Were they Mylars?
No, they weren't.
No Mylars.
I don't even know if Mylars were invented at that point in time in life.
I'm pretty sure they weren't. You went to a lot of flea markets as a kid? There's a lot of flea markets up there?
There used to be two that we would go to. The one actually closed down probably about 5-10 years ago. And when I was a kid, back in the 80s, we would go to this flea market. It was in this big building, and then behind it, it had a lot of parking where people would set up back there too. Mm-hmm. You paid more to set up on the inside than the outside.
Okay.
And it got so bad. I'm pretty sure they never put a penny into that building. It was finally condemned.
Wow.
I loved going there so much.
Was there something particular that you like? I remember. I'll tell my story, but I want to ask you: going to the flea market to get a specific thing or things that you used to get at the flea market, or do you remember a particular experience? Yeah,
I remember. Flags are. We're down in Australia, if I'm not mistaken, right, Drifter?
Oh wow,
I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
And he, well, I would go for baseball cards at the time. Baseball cards, football cards. This was when in about 85, I think, 1985. because I remember I needed one card for the set,
Oh, that
one
sucks.
card,
That hurts.
and the guy was sitting there sorting cards. He pulls that one card aside. I was like, I need that card.
Do you remember who it was?
I don't. It was Dwayne Board. I do remember that.
Dwayne Board.
He was a 49ers offensive lineman. Or
He was an
something.
offensive lineman for the yes.
Yeah. And I was like, I need that card. He's like, oh, I'm related to him. I'm gonna be getting him signed.
Oh,
But I just to
That-
my set. No.
thanks for nothing. We used to go to a flea market when I was a kid, and the two things that I used to get.
I mean, also we would get like action figures and stuff like that. Some comic books. There's one guy had comic books there. There's a guy. I mean, 30 years later, I think he had the same thing with old video games, old
Modified.
old DVDs. I mean, all that not DVDs, cassettes, not even DVDs.
8-tracks.
He might have some 8-tracks like in the back there. He had the what was it? The 33s, the records.
Yes, 33s and what?
33s were the big ones, right? And the
And then
45s were the small ones.
45s. Yeah, 45.
Yeah, he had a bunch of those.
You know what I used to go? I don't remember going to get collectibles. What I used to go get, you remember those imitation rock shirts with the 3/4 sleeves that they were black and with the white sleeves? I wore those for like 4 or 5 years with all the different, Van Halen.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I had a Billy Squire, AC/DC. That's where I went to get those. I used to go crazy just to get those shirts, and they had the best snow cones I think I've ever had was at the freaking flea market, man. Love the
They had
snow
really
cones.
good popcorn at mine. I don't know why they had popcorn at a flea market.
Ours was outdoors. It's Florida. It's hot, so snow cones with that heavy syrup, that red cherries. Oh my god! And you see the guy getting the ice. He would have to scrape the ice, and oh my god, it was so good. You know how to say flea market in Spanish?
Flea market.
El pulguero.
I was gonna say El Free Marco.
No, not el pulguero. Do you know how to say it in Haitian?
No.
T machi.
Okay. How about French?
No, I don't know. I know those three: el pulguero, the flea
Australian.
market, and T machi. That's in Haitian. I guess that sort of French. T machi.
I'm gonna after the show, I'm gonna go back and watch this again, and I'm gonna learn those two things.
So my little lesson for the night.
There you go. I mean, it was. I do remember one other thing that was there. This one guy, he had this. Because back in the day, I assume you watched this as well. Kung Fu Theater.
Of course.
All right, this one guy, he had like nunchucks, throwing stars, swords, all that stuff. We bought a ton of throwing stars back in the day. I'm surprised we're still alive.
I remember when you had a friend that had a throwing star. That was like the coolest thing ever, bro.
Yes.
With the different designs on the spikes, Oh my god.
Okay, Australian, it's a flea market.
The flea market. Okay. Hey, I get it. Hey, the name of that store that he said closed, Daily Planet. That's a great name for a freaking comic book store, right?
Mm-hmm.
Daily Planet. That's perfect.
There's a comic book shop in Roanoke that's on Elm Street. And for the life of me, I don't know why they didn't call it Nightmare Comics on Elm Street.
Bro, perfect. Or
And
Freddy's Comics.
It's called B&D's. I'm like, why is it not Nightmare Comics on Elm Street?
They missed the chance, huh?
Yeah. Or, they could short to Nightmare Comics. I mean, that's fine too.
Just Nightmare. Yeah, Nightmare Comics.
But, hey, what can you do, right?
Dream Warrior Comics.
Oh, see, that'd be good.
Oh.
I'm going to open up a shop right beside it called Dream Warriors Comics.
What's up, Funk? What's up, Jeff?
What is up?
So you mentioned Batman before the show.
The Batman.
Have you heard any things? What's up, Funk Soul Brother?
What's up? What's up, guys?
One love.
I haven't really heard much. I've seen a couple reviews not really reviews. They just said, I liked it. Like, that's really about all I've heard.
Seems to be positive. The only person I've spoken with that has seen it was my daughter, and she says it's great.
Nice.
Yeah, it looked good. I had good feelings about it, so I'm excited. Everybody's saying it's 3 hours and it flies by.
That's what John's Comics, what he said. I just saw his review, and he said it was 3 hours, but it did not feel like it, and that is good.
Yeah. I'll try to make it. Maybe not this week, maybe next week, and see what happens. Curly's.
The NBL team, basketball team owner owned. That's pretty cool. My LCS opened. That is a great name.
I like that, bro. Don't tell my wife comics.
I feel like it kind of alienates all the women from going in. I'm just saying,
bro. Don't tell my wife comics. I like it. Oh, look, Jeff Funkside. Loved it.
Long but good. Nice. I'm excited. I'm excited. Again, but I don't go to theaters, so I'll have to wait a few months to get to see it. But it is what it is.
I think I'll see it in a couple of weeks. I took forever to see the Spider-Man. It took me like almost 2 months to watch that, and surprisingly, it was still there. Yeah. My wife isn't a fan, so she won't go regardless of how long it was. But if she would say yes, I would definitely have to tell her it's 3 hours, and that would be the end of that too. But it looks good, man.
Wait. Why would 3 hours of a movie be bad for you?
Not for me, but for her, because she's I guess they're not the biggest fans, you know.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I thought you meant like she was gonna be at home or out doing something, and she's like, 3 hours? Are you serious?
No. She's my wife isn't a superhero. Like right now, my wife. Did you ever watch Manifest?
Manifest.
It's the one where the plane takes off and it comes back, and it's 5 years.
I'm watching it. I have not seen it all.
She's hooked on that, and that's like the biggest. Like she told me she was watching it. I was like, what? Because she doesn't see any of that.
Oh, LaMelo played down there. Okay.
Oh, and Josh Giddey. I think he's playing for. Is he playing for Oklahoma?
That I don't know.
I think he plays for Oklahoma. Could be wrong.
That's a Spider-Man can't whip the virus. That's not funny. That's not funny. I apologize for laughing at that.
It's funny now that
if you're okay, yeah, that's fine. But it's just at the time. It's actually the reason why I don't go to theaters. That's actually not. Before there was a virus, I hated going to theaters. So there you go.
No, Jeff. I'm not near Sarasota.
Not near Sarah.
I'm all the way at the bottom. It's not even considered Southern Florida. It's just Southern. Yeah. It's not even considered the South.
So if this is Florida,
I'm all the way down there.
You're like in this vicinity.
I'm right where that yellow button is, pretty much. The bottom. I'm like right there.
You're all the way down there.
Yeah.
Because like Alabama's over here. Georgia's right in this vicinity here.
That's the South, and then I'm south of that.
It's like when you hit Florida, keep on going.
Just keep going. The only
if you get to Cuba, a little too far.
Yeah, there you should stop. But that's where I'm at.
Before the Keys.
Before the Keys, exactly.
Hey, did you get any new books this week or anything?
I went to a con yesterday. I'll show them. I got them right here. I went to a comic book show, mainly comics. I went with Cookie.
Nice.
And I went with my friend Richard, my childhood friend. And you know who Richard was?
Richard Lewis.
No, Richard was the guy you beat in the championship game.
Oh, then I got this?
Yes, you beat him, Richard. Yes, I forgot what was his name. I forgot what his team name was.
Second place.
Second place. There you go.
I think that's his name.
So we went, and I only picked up 2 books.
Stay.
I got this nice Journey into Mystery. It's a mid-grade, but it presents really.
Wait, no, the other way.
So I got that. It has some a little spine, but for the price, and I thought it was a good price, and the guy came down a little bit, so I got that. It was perfect. And then I got
Billy.
this. Another. It's a. What's up, Billy?
Oh, good God, man! I walk in and you're showing a book.
Yes, I never show a book, and I got
You
this.
missed us talking about viruses.
Flea Mart, Timashis. I gave a Spanish lesson. I gave a little Haitian.
Oh, he knows about Happy's Flea Market because that's a flea market we used to go to back in the day.
And we had a blast, man. It was just good to be out looking at books and stuff.
Oh, that was an excellent book you just showed, man. All about
Yeah,
it.
man. Yeah, I was
I'm looking
super
forward to
happy.
being able to do such things one day.
I was super happy. I just I don't know. I was very select. I don't know. I go to cons and I'm super selective, and it's just like it's got to be the right price, and it's got to.
Where is the yellow button? I'm somewhere in the basement.
Yeah, Billy.
Awesome.
Sorry, you missed that. Florida is a controller, and what was that other thing you held up?
Huh?
It was the controller, and what else? What did you put like?
Oh, it was my cell phone.
The cell phone.
I
Yeah,
was like, this is Florida.
that's Florida.
This is Florida.
Yeah.
That's basically that's
Florida.
Well, good God. I just got back. Made a trip. I think I did about. It might have been about 350, 370 miles round trip. The people who employ me, my day job, had a job fair today in Richmond, Virginia, and luckily Richmond has several comic dealers there, and I got to meet one who's fairly regular on the comic circuit.
nice.
Mhm.
And went to he's got like a little pop-up shop, Jason Hamlin, and it's Cerebral Vortex, and people know him from places like he does VA Comic Con a lot, Heroes Con. You know, he has a lot of conventions up north and everything, and he always has just cool stuff that you never see.
I bought this one from Heroes. He was
That's awesome.
he was at the con, and
Yep.
dude, great guy. We had a great. He was the best vendor at the con.
Oh yeah, he knows his stuff, man.
Super cool guy, bro.
Yep.
Super cool guy.
He's also into vinyls, and I think one of the interesting things about him, and he kind of obviously when I got back into collecting again, I was really all about superhero.
Mhm.
You know, and then one day, you know, I'm just kind of standing there. He's like, "Hey, man, can you watch my booth real quick? I need to go get something." Then he comes back and he's holding like 5 romance books.
Wow.
And I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, dude. Like, look at the art." And he's like, "You never see this stuff anywhere." You know, and but that was something he particularly enjoys. And I'm like, you know what? There's nothing wrong with buying stuff you enjoy.
Exactly.
You know, where before
he had a whole box of the romance in his booth.
Well, I'll tell you, it's pretty interesting because it's like I never looked at them that way. But then there was another friend of mine. I ended up buying this huge collection that it had a lot, just kind of a mosh of everything, and definitely had its fair share of romance. And if you just sit back and do a back and forth with the quotes on the cover, man, you can entertain yourself for hours just doing that little, "Oh no, how will I ever do it?" And then it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I love somebody else." You can have fun with those things.
It's so corny. They're so corny, right?
Yep, you can definitely have some fun.
But he had a whole box. He was great, man. We were at his booth, bro. We went to his booth, I think 3 different times, and we bought stuff every time we went, and we found something new. We found my buddy kept telling me, "Man, do you remember this Iron Man where he fights the Hulk?" And I was like, with the chains, and I go, "Yeah, it's like 131, 132 is like a 3-book run where it's the Hulk versus Iron Man and Iron Man." And he was like, "Oh my God." He goes, "Yeah, I got one and it's beat up. I'm looking for another one." So went around, we didn't see the book. And then the last time we went to their booth, it's the 3 of us. So it was me and my 2 buddies. And I happened to look down, and he was negotiating some books with him, right?
Right.
And I look down and I go, "Oh my God, dude." And "Hey, what's up?" And
Andy.
and right at the bottom, we hadn't seen it all day. there was a 9.6 slab of one of the Iron Man specifically that he was looking for, bro. And I gave it, and it was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And he got it. He came down on the price. It wasn't even expensive because it's not a big book, but it's a beautiful cover. And that made the con for me, finding that book for my buddy, man. It was awesome.
Nice.
I'll tell you, I got lucky today because Hamlin had, over the last week, he said he picked up about 8 collections.
Wow.
And one of the books that I got, it didn't survive the weekend there. That's for sure. It was one of those books. In fact, Andy was here, Mr. Bonafide. He was here when I picked up one. I was like, dude, I need to get the first appearance of this guy.
Look at this.
And
look at all of these awesome people.
It's a party.
I got lucky today. I got a very major first appearance for me today. Anyway, some people may not appreciate it, but I think it's cool as crap, and I will be showing that off.
From you, where'd you get it from? I'm just now hopping in. Where did you get it? Since it's from you?
I went to Richmond today. I had to do a job fair and got to visit Hamlin's store, Cerebral Vortex.
Right on.
Yeah, picked up a few goodies today.
Heck yeah. Hey, Andy.
To make up for the fact that I lost the PEP number 2 on the auction the other night. That's one of my childhood Grail books. There's nothing special about it other than the fact that it's a whale. It's incredibly hard to find, and all of that
I know
stuff.
what it is. Exactly. It took me a minute, but I guessed it.
Which book?
He'll show.
The one that I've got today. I said it's to make up for not being able to get the PEP number 2. There was Andy keyed me into an auction that was going on where they did feature a 7.0 PEP Comics number 2 on the Comic Link auction. And I went in and it got about as high as I wanted to go because I'm like, by the time you figure out, the add the seller fee and then you add the taxes that state of Virginia would charge, and that would have put me right at about what I wanted to spend, but somebody else wanted it more, and sadly I lost out on that book. But it was the second highest copy, graded.
Wow.
But I was able to drown my sorrows today pretty well. I think I got a great consolation prize.
How much higher did it go than what you were willing to pay?
I would say in the end, the amount that it ended up going for would have been about $600 more than I was willing to go into it.
Okay.
So
it was cheaper than I thought it was going to go.
Hey, you know what? $5,400. Like I say, by the time you add the premiums and the taxes, you're looking at throwing six grand and don't look at. Like I say, it's nothing special. It would have been immensely special to me.
Those early
because
those early PEPs.
They're ghosts.
Will, like 2 shows ago, I was just overhearing it wasn't a dealer, he was just like a collector, whatever. And I was overhearing him, and he was like, "Man, those early PEPs, they're just like they're so hard to find." I just shook my head because I was like, Will's about to try to buy a number 2. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I was hoping, there was other big books in the auction, so I was hoping that those dangly carrots and stuff might draw the attention away. But like you said, there's probably some guy looking for a high grade, working on a high grade collection, and I mean they're just never. With any luck, if you were the person that bought the PEP number 2 at the Comic Link auction, you just simply upgraded your copy. Get in touch with me. I'll buy your old copy. So, but anyway, without further ado, I'll get into today's. Unless you've got more to show, Halea. I'm sorry.
No.
I didn't see what Halea showed. I was trying to
walk on. I got this one. Heroes was there, so I got this one from him.
Nice.
And then I got I never had this book. I always wanted it.
Yeah,
I think it's a great book.
It's maybe a 3 or a 4, but it was in the. I didn't want to get. I didn't need a high one, and it presents really well, man. So that's what I cared about. It just has a little bit of spine wear, but other than that, it looks really nice.
I think it's a great book.
Yeah, I hardly ever see them anymore.
Exactly.
Ordering them or something.
Exactly. You don't see them, and it was a good price. So I said, I've always wanted it, so why not?
Hey, look. That's kind of like me. Like I say, I was an alcoholic that walked in today, and I was ready to plop down some money to satisfy. I'm obviously, horror is a big deal, and he had just picked up a collection that had a bunch of high mid to high grade So obviously this here, the pink in the title popped out for me.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
So
that's nice.
there's, and it's something about this age right here. You get the
Yeah.
late 60s and super early
Yeah.
70s. The 12 to 15 cent
Does anybody
covers.
know this guy in the chat?
Yeah. I see somebody else just walked in.
What's up, Garby?
Managed to grab that one today. I thought that had like just really cool content. Like I
Definitely.
say, all of this stuff.
Who did
Like
the
I say,
cover on that one?
I would say it's this. I want to say
Cardi Kaluta or
I think the first one was Neil Adams.
was that an Adam? I can't.
I
The first
yeah,
one-
the first
the
is an
first one.
Adams. This one here's a Wrightson coming up that I picked up. This is a 20 center that has Wrightson
yeah.
art.
Oh, that's a great.
I haven't seen that one. I love that.
That's
So-
a- what number is that? What number is that?
This one is 214.
Show it again. Show it again. I'm sorry, man. That looks really nice.
That is a great looking.
Dude, I
dog.
about bought the Adams, the one where the toys are like killing the dude in the background and the kids are hiding behind the door. God, I love that one.
This one, obviously,
So
I
good.
went strictly for cover content. You know, on my pass through, I was like, look, I'm buying stuff I like. That's all I'm doing today is just buying stuff I like. I'm not trying to, you know, do this and that and the other. This one immediately jumped out to me because this is a beautiful gray tone.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
So like this one here, this one is
Wrightson, man.
205.
With the color splash.
And of course, this one jumped out just because of the oranges in this cup. And again, it's something about this time period, man. Like I say, 12 cent, 15 cent, like late 60s, super early 70s. I love this stuff.
Yeah, that's a great.
No, that's
man.
no, that's
Yeah,
all
all
fabulous stuff. You know,
Yeah.
All the
and,
novels
and
were-
you got to have good balance. You've got to collect what you love. You got to collect what's hot for the moment. Maybe you flip it, sell it just to let the hobby pay for itself. But that's good stuff, Billy. That's fabulous.
Bro, look at how the titles just.
I love that.
I'm
cover.
telling you, this stuff here,
the stories are
What
good.
number
it's
is
the
that
stuff
one?
you don't know you want until you see
Until
it.
you see it. Yeah, yeah.
No, that's exactly right. You know, and everybody has their penchant. Some people are the pre-code horror.
Mhm.
Some people are
Pre-code
the
Pre-code
Ron-
is just
Ron Ford
Right.
is almost as good as
That's
pre-code horror
beautiful.
anymore.
for
my
yeah,
favorite of the bunch today was this one right here. This is number 206. But I have this huge thing about scarecrows, and this one was
Yeah.
just like, yep, I'm on it. And like I say, it's high grade, you know, so it's like, you know, you can find this stuff sometimes, you know, $3 to $5 a piece,
Yes.
but they're
Weird.
just beat, you know. And I've got two more mysteries. I've got this one. This one, I think, crap, I thought this might be Wrightson.
There.
I don't know.
That's
I
Cardi.
thought
Bro, that is beautiful, man.
this one here.
Wrightson.
Nice.
And then my only House of Secrets, it starts with a 9, but it's not 2. But it is just another one of those beautiful, just gray tones.
Oh, I love that
Oh.
color. Dude. That's Wrightson.
That is beautiful.
That's Wrightson. I love
So I
that.
nailed
What
that
is
one
it?
down.
Oh,
Hold
yeah,
on, I
that's
don't
a
want
good
people
book.
to see some prices. Now we're going to kind of get into some of the key books that I bought. Those books I bought, everything I bought, you know, was going to the
Those are
PC.
key.
This was an upgrade for me. I'm just going to mark through the price. By the way, Hamlin treated me very well on pricing, so I'm not. But this, obviously, I said I have a love for scarecrows, and this is a strict upgrade for the one that I bought previously.
Oh, wow.
So that is the first appearance of the Marvel Scarecrow that you see right here under my hand. And, of course, Tales of Suspense 51. I sold my copy of this. I'm like, I will get a better copy, and I did. So here is the first appearance of the Tiger Shark.
Oh, number 6.
Oh, that's always good.
Yeah.
You got my heart right there, brother.
So that goes to the whole villains thing.
Dennis the Submariner Man.
This is the first time I've ever seen this book. It may not be. I've never seen a copy of it, you know, in this nice a shape. This one here is pretty high grade, but this is Ghosts #1.
Oh, I love that. That's oh my
No,
god.
that's killer. You know,
So I managed to
Cardi.
pick
That's Nick
that up.
Cardi. That's Nick Cardi, I believe.
Yeah, that's Cardi.
yeah, and I've
Um,
picked up a couple of boxes recently, and there have been some sporadic ghosts
Ghost. That's a
book
great.
in there.
That's a great cover, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
if you can get those witching hours, those first witching hours that he
I
did.
looked for
Yeah.
Witching Hour, and he didn't have any, but I do have a Witching Hour #1, and that Nick Cardy cover is probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, the Witching Hour #1, I think, was an Adams cover.
No, number 1 through, I think they're all Cardies. Those early Witching Hour.
This was something I'd never seen one of these before. This next thing I'm going to show. It is a copy of Batman: Son of the Demon, but it is a preview edition that was sent to retailers.
That's
And
cool.
essentially, it's just a bound Xerox copy that DC
Well,
sent
that's
out to
cool.
retailers. I was like, dude, this is super interesting. This is something that I've never seen before, but it is
No,
like
that's
really freaking cool.
I get back
like-
with that. Or if I've never seen it, I might buy it. I'm just like, I've never seen it. I'm
He
gonna buy
said
it.
he had
Yeah.
an Amazing Spider-Man 300 at one time, but it's so freaking cool because you open it and it's just that basically they sent them to retailers so the retailers could make up their minds on how many copies they wanted to order after reading it.
Really?
So I thought that was really cool to get one of those.
What
What's
year
the
is
small
that?
print say on it?
Does it have a year?
1987.
What's the small print on it say? Because it's underneath the word Batman.
Son of the Demon.
Okay,
It's the Son of the Demon graphic novel.
that's
Where
right.
Damian Wayne was conceived in that.
Yeah.
So, and it's a
Oh.
preview copy. It's got a copyright like 1987 and all of that stuff. And it's really cool. And I love kind of stuff that was kind of given to dealers like your ash cans and whatnot. And I think that kind of falls in that category, you know, and I just thought it was really cool to get like one of these. I've never seen one. He said, you know, they made tons of them. So every dealer would get one, you know, obviously,
Mhm.
but you never see them.
Well,
When you get
that's
some
right.
bigger
Because
books now.
what do the dealers do? They throw them in the trash.
Probably. I did manage to pick up a copy of this.
Oh,
Richard,
wow.
thanks for hanging out with us.
Wow.
Oh, that's one that I really need for my collection.
60,
So- But the book of books today, the thing that made me just super happy, he said, well, I just got this in. You interested? And he pulled it out. And all I had to do was flip to the page that featured his first appearance. But here is Terry Toons number 38, the first appearance of Mighty Mouse
That's
in
awesome.
comics.
No, that's legit right there.
Published by
Great.
published by Timely in 1942.
Yeah, word up.
Wow.
And that has me just dude, this to me, I got the peanuts off of Andy. I could not get that off of him.
No, that's legit.
And
right
I
there.
really want to have this graded for preservation purposes. And you know, it's a lower grade, but it presents extremely well. The pages, you know, there's some tanning to the pages.
Right.
But like I say, 1942, and it is Mighty Mouse's first appearance.
That takes me
Dude.
back to when I was a kid watching Mighty Mouse on TV.
Yeah.
Gosh,
All the
that's-
way back in 1942.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's
Yeah.
just
Dude, congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Stuff
So that's
like
a good
that.
That's a good haul. Yeah, you're gonna
I
have
was
to
just
work
like,
extra
man,
hard to pay all that stuff back.
When the Batman Batman book was not the highlight, damn, bro. I was like,
I know,
"Get
right?
a highlight. And shit, that's a highlight. That's a damn highlight, dude.
Pulls out a
well, I tell you,
Mighty
it's
Mouse song, like first
Exactly.
time off the 45.
with like I say, the you know, the cartoons and stuff from when I was growing up and all of that stuff, man.
Yep.
You know, I can still hear the theme song, all of that good
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
So,
Man
man,
Cave
get-
was in here. He would
Do you
appreciate that
ever
one.
see this?
Yeah.
book?
Hey, put Man Cave. See what he's got. Show
Yeah,
that.
Man Cave.
Yeah, show Man Cave. Definitely.
He'll love that one.
come on.
There you go. Come on. There you go.
There it is.
Mighty Mouse, bro. That's crazy.
Another button wouldn't work.
But this
That
book,
is
you know,
awesome.
I'm thrilled to have it. You know, and that's
How much
So
of that are
today-
you keeping for you?
today turned into a very, very good day. You know, got me a bunch of horror, just a bunch of just cool stuff, replaced a couple of things, upgraded a couple of things, and life is good right now. I still
is good.
hate missing my Pep 2, but
Hey.
I'll
made
be
it.
all right.
You made up for it big time.
Yeah.
I'll keep my eyes open, keep on fighting the fight to get one. But
Boom! There he is. First Mighty
So-
Mouse.
That is so nice, dude.
Mighty Mouse.
Here's
That is awesome.
so
I had actually considered getting a Mighty Mouse tattoo at one point, and now, of course, I'm old enough to do foolish things like that.
Mhm.
So for my kids' jujitsu, for my jujitsu program, every jujitsu program has a pack of some kind that they sew on their gi. And so for my kids, jujitsu program, Mighty Mouse is the character that the kids voted to use. So
Nice.
so all my little kids that are running around with their pajamas on, the back patches says, hybrid jujitsu, and Mighty Mouse is the middle of it wearing a gi flying across their back.
Awesome.
So so that's cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I tell you, it's funny. Andy was trying to guess it as I was leaving Richmond.
I was like,
And he had a couple good guesses. He was tending to lean the Disney route. And obviously first place he went was superhero. But people say funny animals don't sell, but man, there will always be room for funny animals.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, it's not Disney. I was like, he says from the 40s. I was like, is it a mouse that's not named Mickey? I was like,
and then I typed the classic phrase, "Here I am to come to save the day."
Here I come to save the day.
Well, I've done a couple shows since the last, but I didn't pick up much. But
you'll have a doozy to show off when it shows up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when it shows, but that's for another day.
That's it.
Save it.
Yeah, I'll say that. But here, this is I picked up an All-American Men of War number 40. You guys know me and my Jeep covers, and I just thought this one was fantastic.
Nice.
Yep.
Where he's the Jeep hauling them out of the water.
Wow. Dude,
it was a slab at one point, and I took it out.
you cracked it out?
Yeah, I cracked it.
You're gonna just resubmit, or
No, for my stuff, my personal stuff. Sometimes I just like them raw. I can read them and look at them.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if I buy it online, at least I know what I'm getting.
right?
What year is that book?
56.
How brittle was it?
No, it's nice. Off-white to white pages. It's good.
Bro, that bird looks great for 56. Wow.
Yeah.
It was a 6.0.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's
and
6 years ago. Great day.
at some point, paper gets brittle, and I get a little nervous. I've got some Golden Age Submariners, and I don't open them anymore because I'm afraid they're going to crack and open all the way up.
Dude, I looked through a Fantastic Four 1 the other day. Everyone was like sitting there like, oh, God. I was just like, beep, 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 beep. I was like, yep, it's good, Sam.
Yeah, I can dig it.
It was awesome.
You were that guy from CGC going through that Superman one?
Yeah, I mean,
People don't understand. Paper was
not
just
rolling on
different
it.
then. Paper was almost designed for abuse. It's not that glossy crap we have now.
Yeah, the cool thing, everyone knows, like, once you become a dealer and you know all the dealers, they know what you like. And one of them was like, dude, I got you a book. He's like, it's not a comic, but I found it. And this is like the coolest thing. It's actually a kid's book.
It's not Playboy.
No. And
It's not Playgirl.
Might be Playgirl.
It might be.
I think, was the year.
Saying there's a chance.
Look at this.
Oh, shit.
And
That's
one of the
great.
cool things in it is in the first page. I don't know if you can see it. It says Christmas 1948. I think it's 1947, but can't you see it? Christmas 1948 to Mike from Caroline and Sharon. And I just love
That
it.
is awesome.
That
Yeah,
is
that's
incredible.
Wow.
I love when something has like its own little provenance. I mean, it's like,
Dude, and they took care of that book.
I know it's in pretty good condition. I love it. I read it
Took
already.
care of that
Oh,
book, bro.
one of those
Some of the
classic-
colors in it are amazing.
Yeah. G.I. Joe doing an homage of one of the classic combat comics from the 40s and 50s. That would be great.
How cool is that?
That is awesome.
That reminds me of like Dick and Jane and shit.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
and I read it from 1947. I think
That is
it's,
awesome.
it's just amazing.
Wow.
And then, so I had a Hulk 180, pretty nice grade, and a buddy of mine. It was like the only book he needed to finish his Hulk run, and it hadn't got it graded yet. And I was like, "Yeah, I'll trade it, whatever, whenever it comes back." Well, it came back at 9.2. So he was like,
Oh.
he's basically like, I'll just trade you my entire Batman collection. I was like, okay, because I'm a Batman collector, and I just want to show you one of the old. Now it's now the oldest Batman I have, beat, but it's still.
Oh, it's
a
got to be
Batman
really old then.
Oh wow, dude.
Yeah,
Is that
Check
6?
the Infinity cover out.
Yeah.
that is great.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's
I mean,
definitely
it's
won
3
on that
covers
day.
in one.
Well, it's more. 1, 2.
You know what? It's speed up, but the colors still pop.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's still like it doesn't matter. It's a Batman 8. I mean, there's tons. I think I got about a short box of stuff that I didn't have in my collection, like variants and like third printings and second printings. So dude, it worked because there was a time during like the New 52 where I wasn't collecting.
Mhm.
So like I needed a lot of those like variants and stuff like that. So it worked out. And I still have a bunch, I can post. Like I have a Silver Age Riddler. It had a really nice the Joker card cover, and I have a nice one. But I'm like, dude, I'll just keep both of them because they're about similar in like conditions. I didn't know. I was like, I'll just keep both of them.
The Neil Adams.
Yeah,
Nice.
but the Batman 8 was.
I
He
don't
was-
have any. Just saying.
He just threw it in. He was like, oh,
Did he know that was in there?
what?
That
This?
that Batman 8. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! He was like,
All right.
it's my oldest. It's yours now. Yeah, he
All right.
wanted to. He's one of those collectors, and I understand. If he doesn't get rid of them all, he'll just keep trying to collect.
Mhm.
So he's like,
Oh, yeah.
"Just get rid of all the Batmans because he's concentrated. He's got Hulk. Now he's got to finish his Spider-Man, and I think there's one other character. I think he likes Silver Surfer. So Silver Surfer, Hulk, Spider-Man now are like his 3 main. He's trying to complete them all.
I've got to admit, I am starting to get more and more attracted to like the first 50, 60 issues of the Incredible Hulk. Like, if you look, like when he got his self-titled
all of them are
series,
just like him versus somebody.
yeah, the first, like, I was sitting there flipping through some today, going, man, no, I've already picked out some books. I really want to focus on those. I can find Hulks anytime. But like those first 50 issues, man, if you take the Incredible Hulk, I've already got, what is it, 105? I believe that's right. I've got the 105 and I've got the Rhino cover. But like you start looking at those things jump out at you. If you can find nice covers where the colors just pop out, just high grade. Absolutely,
Yeah.
man. Look at how
Yeah.
great that is.
That's one of Will's favorites.
Yeah, dude.
You know,
They pop, bro. They pop.
That's it.
Yeah.
All
And
of
I think I'm gonna have a hard time. It's like I was trying to not do. I've got the McFarlane Hulk stuff sitting in my personal collection, stuff like that. But I'm really tempted to start chasing that stuff. But
Mine does not pop. Mine does not pop.
regardless.
Oh, it pops.
my brother-in-law has.
You know what's another
Oh,
one?
Stick it in a Mylar.
Yeah,
The first few of the Submariner, like the first 10 or 11.
better keep
Those
going.
ones, dude, they're
Better
beautiful
keep going.
as well, bro.
So all of the big premiere issue books, which would be Captain America, the Hulk, Iron Man, Submariner, all of them, the first 25 to 30 issues are like
Pop.
that.
They're awesome.
They just have massive swaths of color and they look fabulous. They look absolutely fabulous.
Definitely.
It really, like I say, that's just a magical time in books to me.
No, I
They had the great creation in the early 60s, where, but like, man, you get right on that, I guess, for lack of a better term, it's the taint. It's the area between, Silver Age, Bronze Age, that 69 to like 72 like time period is just, God, it's fascinating to me. And I don't know what it is. It just seems so,
well,
you got those bizarre cover prices. You've got everything kind of going weird.
but it may very well be when they realized that they were onto something and they really had to go over the top. because
Since I found-
everything, set some roots all of a sudden at once, and everything was popping, just kind of
Ah, there it is.
like now. Everything's big now, and so we have better covers now than we've had in years.
Yeah,
It's
there's that.
in volume.
Let's see, this
No.
was my original, and
There you
then
go.
they're about the same, so I just have to keep them both.
I mean, my birthday's coming up. I'm just
Let
throwing
me
it
see.
out.
Let me see that first one. Let me see. Dude, those circles are pretty close to
Look how
per.
nice- Yeah, they're not really bad miscut. I mean,
No, not at all, dude. That's really nicely centered.
yeah,
Nice.
sometimes you're just like, well, I can't make a decision. I'll just have to keep them.
So we've shown off some sweet DC stuff today.
Yeah, I don't.
Does my heart good to see it.
Get off your time, Lee.
Let me see. So I went. I have two stories. 2 weeks ago, there was an ad in Bedford for an estate sale. Bedford's, four of you know where Bedford are, and it started at 10 a.m. in the middle of the woods. So I got there at 10:20.
In the middle of the woods.
Pretty much, yeah. That's what
Well, that's Bedford. Bedford's just
Yeah.
the country.
Okay.
Hey, I live in a town called Forest. I think you understand.
Yeah. So by the time I got there, 20 minutes late, and this guy was a hunter. He lived in a double wide, and they had advertised comics, but they didn't have any real specific pictures. They just had, you could see a decent book here or there. There was a decent Defenders book in there. There's a Defenders 9 in there. A couple other things.
We need to have you big for the story.
I like it. I need to be big for some kind of stories. So
But yeah.
yeah. So by the time I got there, there was already 2 people had been there, and they had gotten there an hour early, and they're standing outside waiting to get in, and had picked the whole thing clean. So those 2 guys were walking out when I was walking in, and I got there, and there was a third dude in there, and he had created a stack. Well, this asshole had just created a stack, and they weren't even good books. I mean, they were. There was some of the early Defenders, and there was some early Doctor Strange in there. And he had his phone out, and you could tell he didn't know in the F-bomb he was doing, because he had a stack like this, and he would get a book, get his phone out, type it in his phone, go to eBay for each book, and look at eBay, and then put it back on top of the box. Nope. Get the next book, type it in, one finger typing too, not like us, where didn't have a clue what he was looking at. So behind or in front of him, even farther, was a second short box. So I went to grab the short box, and he looked at me all funny, like I was taking his books. I said, "Hold on, I need to get this box." "No, you can't have that. I'm looking at that." "No, you're not. You're looking at that stack in front of you. Let me have that short box." "Well, no, you can't do that. I'm looking at them. They're next." That's not how this works, pal. So I almost got into a confrontation with some dude over a short box,
Wow.
because
He would've
he was
regretted
going
that.
one book at a time on eBay, trying to figure out if any of them were worth anything.
Wow, dude.
It was ridiculous. So I don't.
I've only had one person, but of course that was long. Like, to me, a box is a box.
Yeah, boxes.
Your dominion ends at the box that you're on.
Yep.
Yeah.
It does not extend beside you.
If you're not thumbing through them, get out of there. Like, move it, brother.
Right.
Like,
You're out of here.
But I did one time have one guy. I was cruising through some long boxes, and he reached around me into the box that I was on and started picking. And I was just like, "Dude, that's not how this works."
yeah,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like,
Yeah. We all have domain to a box. We all get that rule.
That's it.
Yep.
And we can get super close. We can break the peeing in the bathroom rule, right? You
Yes.
don't go up. It's right beside each other. That's okay. I'm okay with that. But
Yeah.
one box at a time, dude. If
One
you
box.
got a stack, you don't get the box.
That's it.
Hey,
Right.
but
It's
does
not
this-
like he was trying to bust into the
Yeah.
box he was on.
does
Right.
it- does
if
it-
you're good enough, you look in one, and then your eye to the other one while he's looking through them.
Yeah.
No, that's right.
You're looking at that's what I was about to say. You're looking at the other one,
peripheral.
Yeah.
and
Right.
doesn't this happen? You're looking through yours, and you're like, "Fuck, that box is better, man. These guys
Well, that's when you're like,
take that.
Yeah.
Don't take that."
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got to use that poker face. When you see one good, you just keep looking. And you're like, it's not-
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or you do like a certain dealer we know, and you point out, oh, that book's worth something to the retailer of the said box.
That's
or
right.
I know people that like every time they pick a good one, they have to tell everybody, "Oh, this one's worth more than that."
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like shut the fuck up.
I've been
Yeah.
seen those people.
Well,
Yeah.
they'll pick a book up and be like, "You missed one.
Yeah,
You missed
oh,
one.
yeah.
Put it down." You know.
Dude,
Right.
my buddy, we were at the con last week, and
Hold on.
he just been back into comics maybe like a year, right? We used to collect when we were kids, and we went to the con on Sunday, bro. And I would take out a book and I would show him, and he would like, oh, every time I was, and I would look at him like, dude, relax,
You ever
bro.
played poker before?
You're embarrassing your husband.
Yeah, exactly. Everything was like, oh! I was like, oh, dude, what the?
What in the world?
Man, that's
Yeah,
great.
dude, it was pretty embarrassing. I had to tell him, dude, don't do that again, man.
That's
Relax.
fabulous.
Dennis, did you get anything?
So out of those two boxes, I didn't get anything. Nothing but a hard time. And at some point, you just kind of
Yeah.
stand there and watch this guy, and you shake your head, and you're like,
You
Are you
should've
kidding
put it in
me?
an armbar.
I should have.
Dennis, that's when you mess with them and you just pick up a random book, like, oh my gosh,
Oh yeah.
I can't believe this was in there.
Oh, that's right.
You don't even let
Yeah.
him
That
look.
would have been
I
great.
mean, there just was nothing in there. It was terrible. So that was 2 weeks ago. So last weekend I had to go to Stanton to teach a seminar.
When you get back in the big box again.
Yeah, and so there's and Billy knows the rest of this story that I'm going through. I went to
The rest of the
Stanton,
story.
and there's just a new, but it's a used bookstore in Stanton. And I don't even know the name of the place, but the guy's from California. But he's from Stanton, moved to California, lived in California for 40 years, moved back to Stanton, and had a 40-foot U-Haul full of books because he ran a bookstore there.
Wow.
So I was leaving teaching a seminar, and across the street or block down the road is just this big yellow sign. It says all books 70% off or something like that, whatever it said. And so I'm driving by and I look and I say, ooh, because there was 45, 46 short boxes lined up, double stacked.
Oh.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
green.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So I get in there, and it's just a book lover's dream in general. If you're any kind of book, because it was a used bookstore and it was the size of a clothing store, full. And so he had a dispensary in the side of the building. It said deposit your old free books over here, and then he would go through them. And there was a couple of short boxes that had been battered and bruised that were over in the corner. So obviously people were dumping boxes of comics over there as well. So I spent as long digging through this guy's 40-some short boxes of comics as I did teaching a jiu-jitsu seminar. So I don't have pickups like those two just did, but I've got some decent stuff to flip. Ghost. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know how the glare is. Ghost Rider 33.
Nice.
Right. And so I paid $3 a book. Every 5 books, you get a 6th one free. So whatever that math turns into, $288 a book or something like that, maybe a little less. So this is the first appearance of about half a dozen new characters. Apparently, the new Ghost Rider movie that they're talking about is going to have several of these characters in particular, and it's an Arthur Soydum cover. I pressed it once. It's got some dimples in it. I'm going to end up having to use the rollerball technique to get a couple of the dimples out, but it's fairly clean otherwise. And I got I got 24 books, so bear with me. Wonder Twins, #1.
Oh, that's a hot book right now.
So this is kind of a hot book right now. If I get $8 or $10 for it, or I sit on it for a little bit and turn it into a 20, that'll be all right by me.
Mhm.
It's not the first appearance, but apparently it's the first appearance in the DC universe.
Really?
Is that right?
That
Yeah,
I didn't know.
that came out maybe 2-3 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Right. These
I
are for
would've thought They would
me.
have come out in like the 60s or 70s.
Well, there are. That's right. That's why I said this is not their first appearance in
Right.
comics.
It's
Just
like
in maybe
like DC continuity.
Yeah, but I mean, I
Continuity,
just would have
that's right.
assumed that somewhere along the way they would have been in continuity. That's
Right.
Their first appearance was like Super Friends or something, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and I have that book somewhere around here somewhere. I just can't find it. This is a 5-book series, and I only got 3 of them, and I'm pissed off that I could only get 3. But this is the Immortal Weapons from the Immortal Iron Fist run. This is my own. This was for my PC because if we look at the what's that?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, you haven't?
Mm-mm.
Have you read the Immortal Iron Fist run? It's like 1 through 27-ish or something like that. So, if we're talking about comics for reading as in addition to collecting, in addition to flipping, and so on and so on, 2003, 4, 5 really had some fantastic storylines. And
That's
for
what
me,
I remember collecting.
right? And so,
Mostly DC.
right? And DC had a couple of runs that were just incredible. And so for Marvel, New Avengers Volume 1.
Yeah, I remember
Mhm.
Young Avengers
Yep.
was in that area.
Right.
New Avengers and Moon
Right.
Knight. I remember Moon Knight.
And that Moon Knight run is fabulous. The New Avengers is probably one of the best comic runs I've ever
Very
read,
good
ever.
read.
Just ever. And so Immortal Iron Fist was in that same section. And the first 10 covers of Immortal Iron Fist look just like this. They have a single panel, and it's two-dimensional. And that Immortal Iron Fist is right up there with New Avengers and Young Avengers storyline. Just fabulous to read. So if you've got them laying around, you should read them. I highly suggest reading them. It's a fabulous storyline. And so this Immortal Weapons is a list of bad guys, for lack of a better term, that was introduced in that Immortal Iron Fist run, and this would be the story of each of them. Agents of Atlas.
Okay.
So this is the return of Jimmy, I think. And I guess his first appearance, they went digging all the way back into the 50s to dig his first appearance up.
Mhm.
But somebody would have to correct me and do some digging to make sure. And then this is the return of Jimmy to the modern universe. And now look at what Jimmy's doing. Jimmy Choo, Jimmy Woo, Jimmy Choo. Which one is it?
Cho?
He was in. Is it Cho?
I think so.
It's one of
I
the
might be
other.
wrong on that. That's
Yeah,
what I
somebody
was
look it up.
I don't know.
That's what
All
I was
right,
thinking.
so I picked up this New Avengers because it's in 9/8 condition, and it's a newsstand. It
Nice.
doesn't hold any heat. It's not really worth much, but the fact that it's a nearly perfect newsstand's a big deal. First New Thunderbolts, or the first New Thunderbolt team.
I think that's a good book. I have like the variants and the Venom
Right.
one, and I kept collecting them because I'm like, that's really the Thunderbolts team that everyone liked.
Right. So do you think?
the Dark Avengers, right? I mean,
So yeah. So it's a bit of a sick carryover from Dark Avengers.
yeah. I mean, it's basically the Dark Avengers before they became the Dark
That's exactly right.
Avengers, the early time.
That's exactly right. So this was a direct edition. I've got another newsstand something in there. But I don't know where it is. I picked this up because this is my man.
Mm-hmm. Turner.
Yeah, this is the Turner book, and this was maybe a 5 or 6 book run. And they got Finch for a cover. They got Turner for a cover. They got fabulous artists to do the covers, and they're all beautiful. So you buy these because the covers are pretty and nothing more. It's a good story, but it's not that big of a deal. It's not a.
I think Finch is so underrated.
Oh, he certainly. I think he belongs in the.
I mean, he drew Batman. I mean, and like some of the biggest names. You don't get to do that unless you're top dog.
Yeah, but
he deserves.
I feel like a lot of people in the
credit.
community they'd be like, Finch who?
Yeah, well, they're just being.
They didn't pick up that Moon Knight run on when I was
God, this
Right.
man,
Alex Ross.
Moon Knight. I didn't collect Moon Knight.
Right.
I didn't give a crap about Moon Knight.
But those covers.
I
You know,
saw
his-
that Finch Moon Knight on the sitting on the stands. I was like, damn, that was awesome. I was like, who is this artist?
Yes, and he
grimy and
he-
dirty and just.
he deserves as much credit as maybe not McFarlane and
Well, I
Jim,
mean, he was in,
but he's up there. He deserves to be in that second tier with all those other guys.
Mhm.
Newsstand Gen 13 #1, which should be the first Campbell cover.
Yeah, J. Scott Campbell. Yeah,
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
yeah. I think that is the first one.
And it's a 9/8 candidate. I pressed it once already. It's got a little bit of blunting on one corner. So, do you get the grader that's been
Not
drinking? You get the grader that's been drinking and it's 4:30.
6
right?
months because they're harsh right now.
Oh, I know. Well, they've taken a bunch of heat. Agents of Atlas #4. This is return of Namorita into the continuity. Maybe she died off and then they brought her back or something like that. And again, it's $5 to $10 book, nothing special.
Mhm.
Supreme Power, and I always forget this guy's name. Nighthawk, I think. So this is the first Nighthawk, but it's an all-black cover. Spine looks fabulous. It's always hard to turn down a clean black cover, especially when the spines are clean. You just don't find them. The Order #8. And this is the first appearance of Obadiah Stane's son, and I just don't remember his name. Whatever the name they gave him. So there's some talk about bringing Obadiah Stane. What do you think?
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know either. But they're talking about, the next wave of movies. They're going to bring Obadiah's son into the cinematic universe, where he died off. Maybe I'll probably need some help from you guys for this one. This is the Order #1, but it's a variant cover. And I couldn't even find this in anything. I couldn't find this in Comic Book Realm. I couldn't find this on Cover Price, anywhere. I just couldn't find it to figure out what the hell it is. But it's a variant. It's $2, $2.50. You grab it. It's clean. You always pick up Dark Horse Star Wars books, especially when they're $2.50, $2.75, because you never know. A $2.50 Star Wars Dark Horse today is $500 tomorrow.
This is
Michael
true.
Turner's Fathom, right? Just out of nowhere.
I had plenty of them.
Right? You got rid of them too, and now you're like, holy shit.
No, most of them I probably sold them for stupid amounts. I was like,
Oh, they're good for you.
There you go.
Early Fathom Turner book. Yeah, let's zoom in on that. Right. All right. You've been officially demonetized.
He said D.
Demonetized.
Yeah, we got it.
Here we go. And I bought these for me and nothing more. 22 and 23 from that Immortal Iron Fist run I was talking about earlier. Again, nothing special about them.
They're special to you, and that counts.
Well, sort of. So, like the very first Iron Fist ever is in these.
Are they connecting?
No, I mean they might, but I don't think
It
so.
really looks like they were connecting there. I guess not.
I know. So if they reboot Iron Fist because Marvel or Disney officially has pulled in all of the Netflix TV shows and they really truly elect to fix all that shit, and of course Iron Fist is the one they're going to fix, and you never know who they're going to go after.
Bring everybody into the universe except Iron Fist.
Yeah, that's so ridiculous. Can you guys see this at all?
Dark Reign.
Dark Reign.
Secret, yeah. Dark Reign. And so the big deal with this is there's Lady Loki, or there's a female Loki.
Oh.
So those female Loki covers are, super hot. Swordmaster #2.
Sword. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about Swordmaster lately.
Yeah, so this has been #1 and #2 have both been hitting a bunch of steam, because in Swordmaster #2 is what is now the new Iron Fist in the books, whatever that character's name is. I bought this up because it was hokey. This is the Free Comic Book Day Extravaganza, Kate Bishop. So maybe it carries some weight, maybe it doesn't. Really and truly, this is a project because you can see the wrinkle all the way through all the way through your phone, all the way through your laptop.
Just a little race damage on it.
Yeah. So I got a lot of work to do to this one. And last but not least, Zero number one. That
Okay.
that my phone just dinged as soon as I bought it. Matter of fact, I listed this on eBay before I bought it. And I paid $3 for it, and it just dinged to tell me it sold for $62.
Nice.
Wow. Sweet.
Right. So I paid for that stack with that one book.
There you go.
Right. So nothing even remotely close to Billy's personal collection or what Andy picked up. But that's my pickups for the week.
It's better than what I picked up.
I think
Daryl, fat girls don't count.
Hey, I picked up a bunch.
Loving, man, loving.
I went to a toy show.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Dude, did you get a toy?
yeah.
Why?
I don't know where the hell they're all at. Well, I'll go get some if you guys wanted to see some stuff.
Well, Dave, if you gotta show off, you gotta show off, man.
I mean, you
Go
don't
hard.
you don't start. I went to a toy show and then be like, all you need to know.
That's about
So-
it.
I mean,
true story. True story.
last time I went to a toy show with somebody, Billy came back with the greatest toy I've ever seen in my life.
Oh,
Not
Mr.
only did he-
Dinosaur.
Not only did he not tell us about what he got, he just disappeared. He's
Yeah.
not on the screen.
Like, see you
My
later.
reading for tonight, I will read the Pro, but this is the fourth
Great,
print.
great. I love that so much.
I've never read that, man. I want to.
But if you want to see another cool book, I've got stacks of comics all around me, and
I see that. It looks
the
looks
first-
like you're in
Sam
the
Keith artwork,
Ukraine.
Comico Primer.
Ah,
Oh yeah, I hate you.
Huh?
ah.
I hate you.
Ooh,
Good old
Random
Primer.
Living Mummy,
Mummy.
supernatural thrillers. I don't
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
guys. I've just got so much stuff.
I think I got the Pro first print just sitting around here
I
somewhere.
don't even know what to do anymore.
I think
Um,
behind me somewhere.
You're inundated with.
I've
books.
gotten addicted to these.
Oh, there was a few at that con I went to. The treasury.
Centennial.
Look at that Kirby cover.
Please tell me they did come out in 1976.
Oh gosh.
Here's Vampirella #2.
I literally don't have anything right around here that I haven't showed 20 times.
You
Mr.
know,
T, I
I've got
need
to
a
get
fool.
into magazines, man.
I have more boxes to put them in. All right, I picked up a bunch of stuff today. This is not
Got it.
personal. This is just stuff I picked up.
Sure.
I never see these, so I picked up a bunch.
I don't know why that doesn't work. Oh,
There's more to come.
Malibu.
oh.
There you go.
Mortal Kombat.
I was just looking at some Mortal Kombat, some
That one's hard
a
to
video
find.
game lot where they had Halo in it.
Oh,
Liu
no.
Kang.
Liu Kang. There you go.
That's awesome.
Stuff that I like to get for the customers.
I mean, that's a
How
dentist
much?
lot if I've ever seen it.
How much obscure stuff do you guys move?
A lot.
A lot.
Obscure meaning, let me rephrase that because that's a pretty broad umbrella. Boom Studios stuff, atypical stuff from Boom, atypical stuff from just the oddball small time
Dude,
printers.
there's Spawn. Whoa.
I like that card. I think everybody likes that one. Don't look, he just kept on going like it fuck all you.
I think we need to get rid of that just because I mean
Wow.
every other
Low
cover
print
that
runs.
Spawn run is homage
Never-
covers.
Those are all big books, bro.
These are the origin. That's the where his costumes origin. I got both parts of that.
Look, the homage covers, man. I'm not a fan of homage covers, but that set of homage covers is incredible.
It's
Uh-huh.
ridiculous. Like every other book's an homage cover. Like, come
But
on.
it's Todd paying
Do your
homage
own
to
shit,
himself,
man.
so why not?
Hatred.
He's like, I'm the guy paying homage to me.
These are also there.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised. I mean, he's even got his shoulder from patting himself on the back so much.
Yeah,
Just
big red
See, now
cheese.
that's good stuff right there.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
I love this one.
That's great.
That's
Big
cool.
old red cheese.
I know what I see in the back.
A
I'm
whiz.
less appealed about that and that, but I know I'm really appealed about that right there.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that's legit right there.
That's awesome.
At a toy
That was
show.
a nice
You
set.
never know. Go to the toy show.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you can pick
Yeah.
up.
I mean, me and Billy and Ricky
that
went to
was-
that one. We found a box of
Or
great
like-
stuff and got them cheap.
Been trying to
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I got my first League of Assassins there for $20.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so
toy-
yeah.
Don't ever go to the toy shows because you can usually get some. Where I found my secret House of Secrets 92 was at a toy
Your secret House of Secrets?
House of Secret
You
92.
found it at a toy store?
toy show,
Toy show?
and
Yeah,
there was a box under. He was a Hot Wheels guy, and I looked in the box. There's a long box on the floor. I picked 2 books. I just went 1, 2, and the second one. They were $4 a piece. The second one was first the one you held up, the first appearance of Dark Side.
Okay.
So I knew right then, there's no way no one's looked through these boxes. And I said, "How much for the whole box?" He was like $100. I got
Yeah.
there was a House of Secrets 92 in there. It was
Oh,
amazing.
Right.
Didn't even look. I just like took the box home as I was going through. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Yep. So that's why I was like, toy shows, man. Just,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
like brains blowing. Like what? Like I can't believe.
Oh.
So that's Dennis. Never just pick them all. Just buy the whole box.
I know.
Just be like,
I know. I just dropped the ball.
don't even question it. If it's
I
that,
dropped the ball.
If you see the first appearance of Dark Side and the box is in there $4 a piece, just buy the whole box.
You know, and when
Don't
I was,
even don't like.
it was so freaking cold. It was just blowing sideways when I was flipping through that box. And I should have said, hell with it. Let me give you $150 for this box just because I was cold. Just because it was too cold to be out there. And then I know I overlooked 3 or 4 books that I should have grabbed. The Blood Brothers. I grabbed the wrong Blood Brothers book because I grabbed maybe 23 instead of 22 or 22 instead of 21, whichever one is the first True Blood Brothers. And those early Hulks that were in that box, I should have I know. I was a little irritated with myself, but I was too cold not to do anything else.
Another book that was in that batch was the Lois's Curious Black. That was in there too.
Oh, good God.
There were some great books in there. I was just like, I got home and I was like, wee.
That Lois Lane book doesn't survive day one of any show that I've ever seen.
Every time I've had it, it's gone. Like the
Yep.
dealers try to like get it before I even. So I try to wait because I'm like, man, I want to get it to some people before the dealers get it because like they always want it. I'm like,
Because I know the only one that I've had that I sold, I adjusted the price up on it, and it didn't even make it past the first hour. It's something about those covers that are just like very questionable content.
Yeah.
You know,
Which Lois Lane?
the
The Lois
this would be the
Black.
Curious Black.
Yeah, where
Okay.
she's for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
turns into a black woman for 21.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
you like
that's a big deal.
that, the Archie Entendre covers, just like all of that stuff. It's there are people that collect just that.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, and that's hard to figure out. I can figure out a lot of stuff, but I just can't figure that stuff out.
KKK didn't last.
You can't figure what out.
Yeah, I couldn't. They couldn't last. They didn't last the show. My last time.
Which of the Archies are hot and which of them are not?
Yeah.
The fact that there's actually people in our generation
Yeah.
that buy those Archies in volume, in mass.
Will
You
saw
know,
a woman buy my entire Archie box at
Yes.
Charlotte.
That's all. That's awesome.
The thing is, it's like those
It
people
was
don't
like-
get
My
a
God.
lot of love when it comes because you're paying for, 6 foot by 4 foot of table. A lot
Yeah.
of dealers aren't going to bring that sort of stuff.
Right.
So when, if you kind of scout ahead and you plan yourself for the setup, like Big Lick was a very pop culture themed con, Bonafide had the
My
Star
mind-
Wars box, the Power Rangers box, the
all that Power
the
Rangers.
Robotech box, had
I
all of
couldn't
that,
keep it filled. It was like-
like the particular con with the Archies, you know, it's just like, yep, I've got them. You know, here's the Archies here, and the woman came and she's like, I'm so glad somebody has Archies, and she's flipping through, and then it's like, you know what, just buy the whole box. Okay.
That's why
Good for
Dennis
you.
was talking about like the top 10 and all that stuff. I mean, like they don't do that well at shows because I mean people are wanting to find them at like, you know, flea markets and you know,
Oh, I agree.
hard
Yeah,
to get them
I
or
agree.
at the store, like at the comic store when they come out. It's
Yeah, I
hard,
totally
man.
agree.
They don't move. I mean, unless you have them for way below what they go for, they don't.
Mm-hmm. So I'm totally on board with that.
You price them
and
for the people to be like, oh, I can sell these. That's like,
yeah, that's right.
I
That's
don't
exactly
want
right.
to move them.
Yeah, that's right. There's nothing wrong
I've
with that.
gotten to where I have to trend downward on a lot of that Netflix stuff, a lot of the Disney Channel stuff.
Mhm.
I have to make it such. Honestly, I think what you said, Andy, kind of rings true. A lot of that stuff is dealers buying it, anticipating more of a raise. Because I've even noticed, you know, even with Madam Web, yeah, it might be selling, but man, I've had 4 copies of Amazing Spidey 210 in my box. You know, riding around, priced between $70 and $100, and nobody would even ask to see it off the wall. Then finally, at the last show, you know, everybody's like, "Oh, it's spiking now," you know. And I sold copies. You know, I sold 2 of them, and I'm like, "Thank God, I finally sold those 2 books that I've got $1 in." You know, for it's like if you want to talk about margins, my margin is infinitely more. You know, they've assumed so much more risk than I ever did.
But
you know, and
pleasure out of when you hear like I'll have like a teenager, like a 12-year-old kid or something. They come up and they're like, "Man, I really like the WandaVision show or whatever. Like, do you have any books from that relate to the WandaVision?" And you're like, you go over to the wall and you just take off like the big ass like price off of it. It's been like, you know, hyped up, and you're like, "Well, here's a good one. Like, just buy those books, like, and I'll give it to you."
So yeah, no, I totally agree. And you have to. It's a market you have to look at. So when you sell on eBay, you're hoping for that trend
eBay
to go up.
Different.
When you're selling at a con, you're hoping for that trend to do the other way around, so that it can bounce for you. So you just have to know that demographic. When you're selling on Whatnot and Shortboxed, even those two, even though they're both apps, are completely different. Whatnot is still an auction, but you don't move big books on Whatnot. You don't waste your time trying. Whatnot is to get rid of all your fillers. Where on Shortboxed, it's all your graded books, and you put it on there with an established price until somebody buys it from you.
Or you could
So
go
you have-
on bonafidecomicstore.com.
Or what Bonafide needs is a trading section where we can mail you 6 books and you mail us one of those and so forth. But I'm not giving you Batman 8 for a Hulk 180.
Well, it was a lot of books.
That's right.
It was a 180 and 9.2.
No, I think that's fabulous. Good. Yeah.
And I don't care about a 180 and I mean it's a great book, but he needed it to complete his Hulk run.
All right, I'm on board. Which one is more difficult
That's
to
my
get?
job is to get the books to the collectors.
That's right.
I've just gotten to the point right now where I just want what I want. Ebook, fine. If it is if it's just a 1971 3-digit number, man, I've never felt more. You know, at first when I got back into collecting again, it was like, oh, I want stuff that'll gain in value. And I don't think I've ever seen more clearly now after achieving, you know, stuff like this. Yeah, don't get me wrong. This is a book, you know, but like, how many times have you seen, you know, you got Terry Toons, you know, you don't hear that. But I look at it and you know, welcome to Terry Toons Comics, you know, just all of that stuff. I'm just happy to have it, man. And like, if I can look at something and smile just by looking at it, like that damn Peanuts 4-color, it's something about the way Snoopy's looking out from under that cushion. I can't not smile holding that book.
I could not stand it. It was sitting at that comic store way too long. I was like, I've got to have this book.
And and you put it up on the wall. I'm like,
Crazy.
I should have told you to take it down then, but I knew I was going to leave with it.
Yeah. And we all buy certain books for money, and we buy certain books for covers, and we buy certain books for personal appeal.
Mm-hmm.
So some of them we buy for artists. You know, it's just some of us like Finch, and we buy books because they're Finch books.
Yeah.
You know,
There's a niche for everybody. There's something for
That's
everybody.
I try to get everything for. I mean, Spawn is like a big seller for me, so I always try to buy Spawn because
there
people
you go.
seem to
I
always.
can't remember a show where somebody didn't ask, "Do you have Spawn?"
Mm-hmm. You know, and there's 1.7 million Spawn #1s made. You know, it's not like it's rare, but it's super popular.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Venom Lethal
Incredibly
Protector
popular.
one.
Spawn one
Lethal.
sold gone. So you just
Yeah.
Yep.
keep getting
I
them. And
remember. Yep.
I've
Yeah.
sold every copy of Venom Lethal Protector one that I've ever put up to sell.
yep,
Mhm.
Every
I
single
bought
one.
Venom books today because I know Venom. Everyone loves Venom, so I just try to keep stocked what people like, what people want from.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what the print run is on Lethal Protector 1.
Oh my
Well,
god.
everybody talks about the 90s being, maybe 96, 97, right after the glut, right after, Image had basically.
Some of the stuff that's like not well written and like just
Yeah.
cracked out, that stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If you go from like,
Deathmate.
Title stuff was still good. In the Valiant stuff's good reads. I mean,
Valiant are good stories. That's right.
Valiant is incredible.
Mhm.
Right up to Unity, Valiant is some of the best comic reading. I can remember reading Archer and Armstrong Zero when it hit the shelves, and
Mhm.
that was when Valiant had started picking up steam, and I read that, and just the BWS artwork and everything. By the time I read that, I'm like, dude, this is something special.
Who are the other heroes that have like a thing where you stick them together and turn into, besides Archer and Armstrong? Isn't there somebody else? I can't remember who it is.
Wonder Woman.
They're like the Archer and Armstrong, they're the bracelets, right? Where they stick them
Yeah.
together. But there's somebody else too.
Hammer and Anvil, were they?
I was getting ready to say Hammer and Anvil definitely comes to mind. They were the bad guys.
Is that them? Yeah.
In fact, they were so freaking cool due to the fact that one of them got shot in the face and the other one died. I mean, thank you, Scourge.
Great.
That was a very cool issue of Marvel Fanfare, though. John Byrne did every single page. It was nothing but splashes through the whole book.
Mm-hmm.
Every page was a page, and it did contain the death of Hammer and Anvil to an unknown assassin who shall become the Scourge.
And I wonder if it's more difficult to draw one large panel as opposed to
I doubt it.
5 to 6.
Well, being as he placed it in the desert, that meant he didn't have to draw a lot of windows.
Yeah.
So I think
Throw
I think he
throw a
strategically
cactus behind you. You're good to go.
Let's honor George Perez. The time
Absolutely.
talking about cramming every bit of detail in little panels.
Mhm.
Characters into a panel, man.
Oh, just
Yeah.
Perez
it's
is on
unreal.
a different level.
Mm-hmm.
That he's on a. I don't even know. Like he's.
I mean, come on, just
mindset is like I'm gonna put every detail in this tiny.
Yeah, and I think the king of that is Crumb. Crumb was the first guy to put like light poles and power lines and stuff like that in there.
it's I don't know. I look at Perez, I think just Crisis and Infinity Gauntlet.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah.
Well,
And that Infinity Gauntlet cover is just
Yeah.
fabulous.
JLA versus Avengers was like him in his peak or his like pinnacle. Like
Even his Avengers run, man, it was freaking crazy.
oh, it was Avengers.
Yeah.
I mean, Teen Titans, New Teen Titans.
It's New Teen Titans, exactly.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman.
I tell you, sad is all the news we're hearing on Perez is right now.
On Perez, yep.
I've got to tell you, like every time I see a post or a shared post of him sitting there, knowing what's coming and smiling the biggest smile.
Yep.
Totally agree.
It's inspirational. You know, it's like this guy. I mean, and you can, unfortunately, I lost my father to cancer, and I saw how your body does. And I can see a lot of that, but he's got this huge grin, that he is not letting go without a fight, and I think it really is something else.
Yeah, I was looking at some pictures from back when I was a kid, and my mom's best friend passed away from cancer back in the late 80s. And it's just, gosh, I mean, I still think about her to this day. She was just an awesome lady, and just how many people has cancer taken throughout the decades? It's absolutely does suck. I mean, when people say cancer sucks, it's an absolute fact.
It took my dad too, man. And it's like you say, it's just a horrible disease, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's just wither away. It's freaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't suck.
All right, guys, we're gonna shut it down because of two reasons. One, we got
Cancer sucks.
One,
the
because
second reason
somebody
is-
drug us down.
Yeah, we had a bot come in, so finally we had one of those.
Oh, where's the bot? What did they
There
say?
it is. 2
Chat.
hours and 2 hours and 20 plus minutes in.
That's pretty good though, for you,
So that
Daryl.
was exciting.
It's not the G spot, is it?
No,
No.
Lydia,
not the G Man, not the G Man.
the G spot bot. Hey, at least he's paying you for it. Here's some money.
Oh, G Man, you didn't have to do that.
Hey,
But thank you
G.
so much.
Look at that.
Gee, man.
What does that say? I am 55. I can't read, even with my glasses. Can I pinch to zoom?
Thank you so much, man. We always appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, G.
So
The G.
yeah, so the
By the way, you getting your tickets for Heroes, right?
Dude, I want to go bad.
You can do it.
Dude, I saw a head shake. There are no excuses. You
There's
will
no-
go.
I think me and my buddy, that guy, that guy, I think he's down. So I think we might make it happen.
I will
You will get,
record.
you'll get
that.
the bona fide discount if you come.
bona fide
But I'll let
discount.
him know too. I'll let
I
him
don't
know.
even get that.
Whatever, Daryl.
That's not true. I have a stack of books
That's
I assume is
true.
already shipped.
How's that?
Daryl,
Wanted to
Daryl
go.
has a table he hides under for hours at a time.
Yeah.
That would be awesome, dude. I would love it.
Yeah. So this, while we were chatting, this just sold for $10.
Nice.
Somebody sniped it at the last second. Ding.
Hey, one thing I do want to talk about as we're going out, because it's been on my heart the last week. It's one of the reasons why we didn't have a show last week.
Mhm.
I'm sending all my prayers and all my thoughts out to the people of the Ukraine.
Yes, indeed.
It is absolutely disgusting what's going on. I have a couple of friends there, and one of them just had to leave their house. They may never get to go back home, just basically with the clothes on their back and a little bag of clothes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just devastating what's going on there. And so I'm keeping my thoughts and my prayers to all those good people over there, because there's some real good people there. And they just want to live their lives the way we live our lives. So people of Ukraine, we're thinking about you. And I'm hoping at some point we can do something to help you. I don't know what we can do, but I want to be able to help them in some way. If you guys got anything to say, let me know.
Hopefully Maverick and Goose are on the way.
That's right. With the middle finger that I saw in that thing. That was great. Yeah, you guys got anything else?
Nope.
Go you.
Men,
Bonafide,
good to
what's
see
your next
you.
show?
Solid gold, guys. Y'all have yourselves a good one.
That's all it is.
Good time seeing everybody.
All right, guys. That's all we got. And you guys
have an
have an
incredible
day.